Sarat Zahawi still is with us, an expert on Iran, joining us from Tel Aviv. Sarat, your response to what Zamir had said just a while ago, that this is just the beginning and that there could be much harsher response from Iran and that Israel and America should be watching out for what Iran has in store.
First, as an Israeli living 9 kilometers from Lebanon, I'm not in Tel Aviv, I'm in Israel's north. I'm under attack by the Iranian proxies in the region since October 8, 2023. Okay, the rockets that Iran provided to Hezbollah were launched to my house against my family in the past year and a half. They were provided thousands of them to Hezbollah in Lebanon and to Hamas in Gaza, and we didn't open this war back then in 2023. Second, I want to say that I want to ask Mr. Jaferi, the cleric from Com that spoke before me. I would love to see his face again if he agrees to speak with me. I'm not sure.
He's not with us anymore, Sarit. Apologies.
I would love to
sure.
ask him if I could. How come he's saying that Iran is not aggressive and we are the aggressive if in every speech of his supreme leader Khamenei and in every speech he gives, the people are shouting death to America, death to Israel? How is this exactly reaching their hands to peace? Third, I want to ask how come they are reaching their hands to peace, but at the same time, Iran is developing a nuclear program for military purposes, and it was proven that it's for military purposes because the enrichment of the uranium was much, much higher than what is needed for civilian purposes. At the same time, they are developing a program of ballistic missiles that can reach 4,000 kilometers away from Iran. And if you calculate the distances, you understand what I'm saying. And one last thing, I believe that if the Iranian Islamic Republic will eventually understand that we are here to stay and Israelis are not going anywhere, and Israel is not going anywhere, and they will reach their hand to peace, and they will abandon the nuclear program and the ballistic missiles program, there will be peace tomorrow. We will cease our fire tomorrow. So all these talkings about aggressiveness is just nice English, but the deeds behind this is the aggressiveness of Iran. Thank you.
Harold wrote, just nice English is what Sarit Zahawi is calling the threats from the Iranian or the scholar from Iran. What do you make of the escalation that we are seeing? Donald Trump is in the Situation Room. There are jets that are flying off bases in Saudi Arabia. Are we looking at a very long night over here with responses coming in from the United States of America?
I cannot imagine that President Trump will not do everything necessary to defend American interests in the Middle East. I think it's absurd. I think Sarit, what she said is absolutely right. What Adrian said is absolutely right. Sometimes you're talking about, oh my God, what's going to happen in the next day, and whatever. Sometimes, a patient has to have an operation and that hurts, but it saves the patient. We're at the point now that the Iranian people have suffered the most of anybody from the terrorists that run their country. The Iranian people, God willing, will have a chance to save themselves because the way this regime is acting, I find it difficult to believe that it has much longer on the face of the earth.
Okay, Adrian, you really think that over here Iran's response is not going to hurt the Americans to the extent that maybe countries in the Middle East would want Washington, D.C. to get Iran back to the talking table?
I don't think it's going to hurt the United States at all. I think you're going to see a response from the United States that tells Khamenei once again, don't do it again. We had Biden who said don't and didn't follow up with any actions. Trump's using force to ensure peace. And then in regards to the individual from Qom, we got to remember that he's not an expert on any type of military ordnance, what the Islamic Republic has in their supply, what their stockpile is. He is a cleric, and he's going to puppet the regime talking points. So he's got his religious credentials, but he's also got his propagandist, political scientist credentials as well. And you can pretty much draw a line and counter everything that he said. It would take too much time for this show. But no, the United States response is, once again, it's going to send a clear message to Khamenei. But as Sarah once said before, he is. This is the kind of guy that's going to fight to the death. It has nothing to do about national pride or anything like that. It has nothing to do with this. This is all about comedy and really this whole belief in Mahdiism and this apocalyptic worldview that they have.
Okay, there are two options that we were debating earlier when I was speaking to a few experts, Adrian. One was the military option, looking at and hitting out at the military bases. And I was speaking to a senior journalist and political analyst from Tehran, Ilham Abedini, and she very clearly had said that the response is going to be military. It is going to be against US military bases in the region, and it has happened. The second very important aspect that we were discussing was the Strait of Hormuz, the other way that Iran could impact the world, not just the region, should they start creating or shutting down or restricting the Strait of Hormuz. What's your reading on what's going to happen next on that front?
Well, and those are very great questions, and something I was debating last night. I think we all kind of expected either a hit on a direct confrontation where they launch something at our air bases and forward operating posts like El Tanf in Iraq and these other kinetic actions, or do they do an indirect maneuver, which has been their history and been their practice over the years, and shut off and close down the Strait of Hormuz? This goes to show you where they have very little leverage at this point. China basically told them, no, you cannot shut down the Strait of Hormuz. That's going to cripple us. So that's when you're seeing this response. And then the American response is, you got to understand that if I was expecting it, you can expect the entire war cabinet has been expecting this for plans that have been going on for weeks, maybe months here. So there are a number of options that were drawn up on the table and target packages that, okay, they do this, then we take out this until they finally get the message.
Right.
Unfortunately, I don't know if Khamenei ever will get the message until his regime is gone. And again, that's up to the Iranian people to take that back.